Alright, see stuff? Okay, I see me, cool. Alright. Okay, let's just gonna spam the link a few places and call it a day. Let's see. All right, let's see here. First. Oh yeah. Pretty sure it's too early for most people, but that is okay. Hopefully you can hear me fine. All 0 people watching, I'm not sure. Alright, so a bunch of things I want to make today. I don't know how far I'll get, but I want to make some piezo inputs, so I'm just going to take these and basically solder them to a jack, 1/4-inch jack probably. So I can attach them to things like a ukulele or a washing machine or whatever I feel like might be a good sound or control voltage source. I'm really stoked about the dryer or washing machine, so that'll be what I want to do today. It should be fast. I'm going to make this cable half as long because I need more short cables. What else? I have some stomp boxes I want to make. Well, I just want to make one. I don't know what size I want to make it, but I want to make a a mute stomp box for my microphone, so I don't have to like hold it and twist the knob. It requires 2 hands to mute it right now, and I would like to use just 1 hand and a foot. So there's that. Then I have this music box here that is quite interesting. It was not expensive at all, like 20 bucks for the kit or something. And I'm going to take this ears module that I'm not really using currently. I'm going to make a new panel for it and bolt this to the front basically with the piezo on the other side of the panel so that I can play songs through it. So there's that. Right now I only have one thing, and that's one song, and that's Happy Birthday. I have plenty of blanks to make my own. I haven't done that yet. But I think the first and fastest thing I wanted to do was put together these sort of breadboarding tools, which I'm probably not going to use them today, I don't think. Let's see. I could. I'm trying to think what I would use it on. No, I don't think I'll use it today, but I will use it in future projects. Five notifications. I think I got more because my streams are so good. Anyway, what these are, these can go onto Lego bricks, which I don't have any, but I'm gonna at least take the sticky stuff off of these and put them on here, but I may wait a while on this. I was going to do these first because they're really fast. It's just taping a board onto a thing, but it's pretty cold in here, so I'm going to wait for that really noisy heater to kick in. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is maybe cut that wire in half. I don't know, I've had issues with glue not adhering properly in the past. When it's too cold out, so get some jets. Let's see, I've got some somewhere. I'm gonna put Alright, let's make a shorter cable first because I can use it out here for the stuff I'm going to test. So first things first, my favorite part, big scissors, and do the unthinkable. Let's see, right there is where I want it. Nice camera, here, get the sound. I don't know why I did that. Alright, music. We don't need these anymore. We do need wire strippers. I don't know if I'll do an actual music stream or not today. I have nothing lined up. I was actually hoping to get some modules in the mail, but they have not shown up yet. Whatever reason, the UK stuff takes flippin' ages. So I just use these to sort of cut a little bit of the sheath off. But I don't think that's enough. I think maybe that's a little short, but we'll try it with this one first. There's really not much to this. Basically, take this outer copper sheath and make it into a nice twisty. Yeah, I don't think this one's long enough, so let me take a look. Oh yeah, let me turn the music down. There, now it should be pretty low. Okay, taking these apart. Sorry about the loud music. These are really sort of crappy jacks, and they come with this little plastic sleeve thing. Ugh. Whatever, that one's in there. It's this thing, it's clear, it looks like a shrink tube, but it is not, which I learned the hard way. It is to prevent anything you solder to the end of the jack from touching the case, particularly on this side where you don't want the tip to touch the ground, or you'll just short it and it won't do anything that you want it to. So I'm gonna cut these just a hair longer. I should really be doing more than one, but I don't think I need more than one right now, so I'm just gonna do the one. Oh no, I sliced a whole bunch of that. It's okay. I don't know, it's only like 3 wires now. I'm gonna fucked up. Alright, let's do it one more time. There. Can't cut it too deep. Just deep enough where I can pull this off, but not too deep. Because I don't want to cut the copper off. Whew, ow. How's the music now, Forrestine? Should be low, and it should mostly sound like a heater. Okay, this looks like I've got plenty now. So I've just separated that, twisted it a bit, and then I'll strip the end, which I believe is 18. That one doesn't need too much to be stripped off. Yeah, perfect. 18 gauge. Alright, that one's ready to be soldered. We won't do that yet. We'll do the other one first. Holy cow, I made a mess. Cool, thanks. Thanks, Benjamin, for confirming. Also, I just want to back up a minute. I went over some of the stuff I want to build, and one of the things I want to build or just make a couple of piezo to 1/4-inch jacks, cables to attach to like a ukulele or whatever, banjo, or my washing machine or dryer. I think the washing machine and dryer, particularly when there's something particularly like clunky in there, those could be a fun CV source. Like, if you got it, use it, right? Alright. Precarious job of just cutting enough of this. Yes! Alright, I think this one may actually be not as bad as the last time. Okay. Okay, that looks like enough. Yeah, I just want like enough to make a good twist. Then I do this, strip that just a little bit. This one doesn't need to be as long. Okay, ready for soldering. Alright, actually I'll probably need these, so I'll keep them handy. What else? Turn the soldering iron on. Would help. Maybe I should just get like a 100-foot cable and mic up that heater at some point. Stupid. I think that cable would be more expensive than the heater. Alright, I wanted some caffeine. The other things I'm going to build are more interesting than short cables. More piezos. I'm going to build a mute switch stump box for the microphone so I can do it one-handed. And I'm going to make an ears module into a little music box module. That idea is entirely stolen from Bartok, or whoever made that module that Bartok has that I particularly think is cool. Alright, helping hand, gonna help me hold these in place while I tin the leads. Yeah, cool. What are we doing temperature wise? Let's twist this a few times. Off. Ooh, it looks good. Beautiful. Did watch a 20-minute tutorial on how to use a video editor last night. So I think basically what I'm saying is I'm an expert. And any future videos you see will have effects like fade to black. And, well, they'll probably look almost the same, but I'll make them in half the time. There will be no improvement to the videos. Alright. Just making promises I can't keep over here. Alright, we got some solder. Sick. What was I need this for... Oh, right. One of the things I always forget to do is put the casing on before I solder the tip. So this might be the first time I've remembered. Could be a good or a bad thing, I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing this too much. Alright. Alright. Cool, 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 cool. Now I like to add a little solder on these first. And they get super hot, so I use the helping hand. Yeah, production values, Forrestine. Like special effects, like I heard the words color grading said, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But I will at least adjust the color, other than like guessing. like when I inevitably do something wrong, or film it with too low of contrast. Not too much I can do if it's overexposed, but if it's underexposed, I'm golden. Alright, we've got some solder in there. Star wipe! I should look up the star wipe and do that, because, like, basically, Star Wars did everything right. Well, no. Star Wars episodes 3 through 6. And I like the new ones, too. Alright. These particular jacks, I don't know if I'll get again, because this part of them is like a pain to like pry open enough to get the wire in there. As you can see, that's after I bent it open. It's nice and not straight at all. Let's see, how do I make that focus? Yeah, anyway, this is how they come, which is too small for this cable, which on the last set of jacks I had, that was not the case, but these were from Tata, and they were less expensive, so I sort of get what I pay for. Not that Tata's bad, it just means sometimes you have to do a little bit more work. Alright, so just perfect. I don't even have to do nothing there. To bend these a little bit, and then I will do one at a time. Alright, I think I got a good connection on the tip. Now I do the ground, and to do that I think I need a little bit of cable bendy. Come on, buddy. Ugh. Not going well today. Let's see, how can we do this better without breaking this off? I don't know. Put you down for a minute. Usually this is pretty easy, but this one seems pretty flexy this time. I don't know why. Okay, that should do it. Just need a tiny little bit, and try not to touch it too much because it's hot. Alright, we have successful soldering. Before I do anything else, I will test it. Let's do the other one. Before I do anything else, let's do another thing. Totally different than testing. Oh yeah, I did put some solder on there, but it doesn't look very blobby, so I'm going to blob it up a bit more. Blob it up. I used to actually stick the wire through the little hole here, but I ran into a contact issue with that. It's probably fine normally, but I don't know. Probably just too crappy at this. Anywho. We have successful solder there. Let's do the bottom one. It's so hard to I always want to touch the thing that's insanely hot. Did not put enough solder in the right place on this one, so I'm gonna do that. This is a 2 for 2 fail. But I think that probably did the trick. Ooh, hot. Okay. Now, before I fold that thing up, I like to test it to see if there's any shorts. Pause this. You should hear a beep. There's a short. I'm not hearing a beep because I turned it the wrong way. I swear I know how to use multimeter too. So tip to tip, great. Tip to ground, nothing, cool. Ground to ground. Nice, cool. Same thing on the other one, hopefully. Ground to ground, fine. Tip to ground, nothing. Tip to tip. Yeah, cool. Perfect, first try. Ish. Last step is to just bend these back in place with the world's tiniest pliers. Actually, I have smaller pliers. It's not a competition. Alright. This on there. And same thing over here. Bend these down. I guess I should show that on camera for folks who haven't done this, but it's not very complicated. Okay, see, you just sort of crimp them down a little bit. Nice, and done. Oh, this one doesn't want to tighten, probably because of something. I don't know why that was so funny to me. We're just gonna force it. That's what you should do. And then I'll double check it just to make sure I didn't bust through that that little sleeve. So maybe. Cool. Nothing. Cool. Cool. Done. We have cables that we can use for testing later. Sick. Fine there. What's next? So the next two things are going to be a little funky because I want to do all the drilling at the same time, because the drilling is sort of the I'll need to do off camera, and it's going to take time because there's measurements. I guess I can do the measurements and stuff on camera. You know what? Let's clean all this shitty copper off real quick. I'm going to mute the microphone so you don't hear vacuum. Let's see, turn that back down. Yep, you're watching somebody vacuum. And you got notified 5 times for it. Alright, moving on. Should I do this, which will require very minimal breadboarding, or the ears module, which will require pretty much just measuring. I think all I gotta do is take the panel, which is over here somewhere. Where'd I put it? This panel, and drill a bunch of holes in it, because I'm pretty sure this will work. I've not bolted it on here to find out, but could test that just by holding it on there. I don't know, that seems kind of lame. Let's just make it. Let's just go for it. Worst case scenario, it sucks. I guess I can show this off first. This, it's hard to do. Let's see, is this on camera? Yeah, barely on camera. You put this little thingy in there, and it's hard when it's not bolted to something, because I sort of have to push it extra hard to get it going. Once it's going, it's going. So we're good now, I think. And then, let's see, how can I do this where you can see? Rotate. No, it's not in there yet, I don't think. Come on, buddy. There we go. Yeah, it takes a little bit of work to get the paper in there first. And it plays all the notes first, because that's just how it works. Once it's in there, we can play the song that has a funny copyright story, but is not thing, actually, the copyright for it. I don't know why this song, the Happy Birthday song, starts with the end of the song, but it does. The cool thing about it, though, is I can actually loop it. Like if I tape these together, I've run it through, and it just keeps playing in a loop. And it'll come apart now because it's not taped, but yeah, that's the music box, and you can hear that's significantly quieter when it's not attached to anything. Barely can hear it. Put it on table. Resonance. Pretty cool. Happy birthday to me. Alright. Get this out of there so I can actually do stuff. Yeah, I'm stoked about this, and it'll fit nicely on a module. I'm not sure which direction I want to go. Like, yeah, so this would be good to talk through with y'all. I'm going to slide this over. I don't know why it's so far that way. Okay, so we've got this panel, right? This Cosmo panel, roughly sized, definitely not super accurate. I could put it this way, and then this little spinny thing will be hanging over a little bit over another module, which isn't likely a huge deal. I can plan around that. However, when it's this way, the paper ribbon will be like this, which I think is slightly more optimal in terms of like cables hanging over it and things. I'm not sure, maybe this is more foldy this way. Otherwise, like the more obvious direction seems to be this way, because if I go this way, this won't get caught in any cables or cover anything. And this paper is pretty stiff, so maybe this way is not a huge deal. Another fun thing about this is if I mount it around here, that gives me a lot of space right in here, I think, because I think I'll probably put this PCB, I'm going to basically just take the front panel off of this and put the guts and everything on this, just pretty much like this. It'll give me a lot of room over here in case I decide to enhance this module later and perhaps like motorize this. How about a right angle bracket and make the music box stick out like a tube, like this? Is what you're saying? Oh no, your laundry's exploded. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I've been there. I hope my laundry doesn't explode, because then my synthesizer will be right in the path of destruction. Yeah, I'm going to move this out of the way for now. But I see what you're saying, Benjamin. It could be like this, right? Like I could have a little mini table there, like an L bracket or something, and play it upright, which does make it easier to access. But I think the downside with that, Benjamin, is I don't know how well the sound will resonate if it's on a bracket. So I think I am going to start with it maybe this direction or this direction. And again, it's just bolted here, so I could make some L brackets for it after the fact. If I don't like, you know, reaching in and do this, I could try an L bracket to see if it resonates. So that seems like a good enhancement, and I like the idea. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. But I'm going to start with low profile first. I wonder where the bolt for this one. It seems to have a bolt going right through there. I've got more. It's just probably 3mm bolt, but whatever. It's gone. So let's take you apart, because this is likely the one module or the build today that will provide the most happiness with the least amount of work. Like the mute button's just a function thing. I really wanted to be able to mute and unmute the microphone without having to like hold it with two hands, because it is a handheld microphone. The hinged bracket. Yeah, so the reason I don't know about a hinged bracket, which did cross my mind after you said bracket, is because I think for the most resonance, it needs to be the stiffest. So I would need a really good way for that hinged bracket to be sort of extra stiff, just for the maximum resonance possible. Does that make sense? Because again, this thing is like super duper quiet when it's not held down to something like a table. All right, we have you detached. And this is a module by Analog Output that is a modified clone of an ears module by Mutable Instruments. Velcro, I don't know, Velcro might dampen it too much. But again, I'm going to bolt it on here. I'm not going to glue it or anything, so we could always like move it around, etc. And that kind of a thing. Like this isn't the perfectly sized panel. This is, I'm thinking of it as a prototype that, if all goes well, will be permanent. But you can see on the back of this ears module, essentially, I've got a slightly trimmed down piezo microphone hot glued to the back, and that's so that you can use the scratch plate. It's a switching jack, so just if something's plugged in, it doesn't use the piezo. If something isn't plugged in, uses the piezo. And I actually have been really having a lot of fun with this, not the scratch plate, although I think that could be fun for maybe ambient sounds with lots of reverb or whatever. But flicking the thing, like I turn up the mic gain just a little bit, and then I flick it, and I use it as a CV, essentially use it as a trigger on the Rample, which is a sort of sample player module. And so I'll trigger the freeze with it, which is pretty fun. Like, I hear nope, nice little freeze there. So what I'm gonna do is take a quick picture, so I don't have to look it up later. I'll probably remember it. I just want to double. I don't want to have to remember, you know. All right, cool. Picture done. Next. Now we can desolder this piezo, because I actually do want to keep the panel intact in case I decide to go back later. Yeah, more of these already in with the black faceplate, so that's why this one is fair game to repurpose a little bit. I mean, I'm essentially just building a new panel that I could bolt bigger things to. Come on, buddy. Come on. There you go. All right, and it's free. But I do really like the artwork on this that Analog Output made with this like sort of spirograph looking scratch plate here with the copper traces. It's pretty cool. Or I don't even know, that's silver traces, not copper. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I like it. It's very cool. He's got an all-white system that is bomb. And he's making more modules, which I'm stoked about. Okay, moving on. What do I want to do? I need to measure things. Luckily, I have a template here, and I'm actually going to use the same hole pattern on the side, so that should be pretty easy. I want to drill it. Do I drill from the front or the back? I'm trying to think. I think from the front, because the back tends to have more rough edges. So this is gonna be, well, let's find the least scratch side and we'll use that as the front. Cool, light blue is front, here we go. And the past two modules that I've made myself completely, the wrap module and the phone dial, I have completely blanked drilling the mounting holes, these holes, before spray painting, which is kind of a pain. Yeah, burr on the back, yeah. The funny thing is I've done a bunch of that kind of stuff, I just need to remember. We'll just sort of fill it in and fudge it. Perfect. All right. Now, before I forget, I'm going to do the other side. And one thing about the Cosmo modules that I have that I wish was a little different was I wish instead of these circle holes, I wish they were the ovals, ovaloid, or whatever you want to call them. I think technically they're round rects with hard round edges, but whatever. Because then the holes don't have to perfectly line up on my wooden rails. Drilling holes is, oh yeah, it is stressful, and I've been trying to optimize my flow. I even got a $2 what's the name of that place? Well, I can't remember. AliExpress, $2 AliExpress. It's a thing you hit that makes a little divot so that you can drill right in the right spot. And I forget the name of it right now because I haven't had enough caffeine. But I have one. I don't know where it is, so I'll probably use this nail that I always use. A punch would be the word, right. One of those things that when I say I feel stupid after forgetting that. Anyway, it's a punch, yes. So those are the holes for that. Now, yeah, so, and what this means is I'll have basically this mounted over here, which I don't think will interfere if this is mounted right in the center. Yeah, I think there's plenty of room. Actually, I don't even need that there. I can just use this because it's the same profile. Yeah, like this could be right dead center and no collisions. I don't do manufacturing every day, that is true. And I've actually never used an actual punch. I thought it would be a little different, so let me go get it and I'll show you. So here's a $2 punch. It looks exactly like you would expect. There's a piece of metal with a sharper piece of metal on the front. I don't know how good it is. I may not use it for anything important. I have taken it apart. Inside you will find a spring on one side and a spring on the other side, and then you've got this sort of a plunger thing that the tip stabs into. I don't fully understand the purpose of this spring. Maybe it's to reduce like the tip bouncing or something, but I don't know how that would work, so again, I don't understand it. And I put it backwards, I think. No, I put it, yeah, I was right. Okay, let's put it back together. Just requires a little force. Okay, there we go. Is you ping with a punch. That's sick. I like that. Okay, so I ping with this punch. Is this like a normal punch? Like, I don't understand why the spring is there. My guess is it would be to reduce the tip, or reduce the chance that the tip will bounce and make more than one dent, but I don't really know. I've not used it yet. I'll probably use it on some scrap metal first, or wood, or whatever. Okay, that's there. I'm gonna measure center, and this one's like a really boring module to make because I'm pretty much just measuring. I do think I want that side up, and I want this down. let's grab actual module faceplate and double check the height before I do anything else. It's all geometry. I think that height's pretty close. This is like 2 millimeters less wide than a standard 10 centimeter wide Cosmo panel, which I'm on the fence about. Like, the aluminum I got is 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters, so when I cut it down the middle to make a perfect 10 centimeter wide panel, I get this one that's 2 centimeters smaller than it needs to be. And the thing that frustrates me about it, and the reason I brought up those oval holes, is because if I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but you can see on that right hole, there's a little, you can see through it there. Like, I can't drill the holes in the same exact place. So, we have geometry and ergonomics. I don't know how ergonomic a modular synthesizer is, or the one in my basement, because in the washroom, the floor is slanted down to a drain in the middle of the room, which means the whole room's floor is cement. It all has a slant to it, and that means, like, my current modular synth that you see me playing is on a table that has under a couple of the legs are some shims to get it closer to level. But I'm also, it means my feet are always like a little bit slanted, so it hurts after 6 hours. That was the real reason I stopped that 6-hour one, is because my feet hurt too much to keep going. And I go on like long hikes or something. Shape the holes to be oval. Yeah, I could shape the holes to be oval. I'll keep that in mind. Like, if the reason, so when I put holes into the wood rails, I do need a pressure mat. I actually have some that I've been using. You just can't see them on camera, but I could always use more. What I was going to say is, when I put the holes into the rails, that's where the holes are. Like, I can't move them 2 millimeters to the right or something. So if I want to replace this module with something else, like a standard format Cosmo module like this one, I could make these holes, widen these holes with a file, so that I can use the same holes, or I could, because you can't really see the holes anyway because they're covered with screw heads, but or I could just replace it with one of mine that happens to have oval holes. But yeah, I've worked out how to make the holes. It's just that I wish all of these had the oval holes. Okay, what was I doing? Centering. Okay, let's get a different colored Sharpie. Yeah, let's do silver and a ruler. Move the other way. Don't want to ruin Happy Birthday. It's my only test ribbon right now. You're right, Benjamin, and that is something that I want to avoid as long as possible, because when I do it, I'll probably do it to a good amount of the holes. Or what I can do, on my most recent case, I made it so that I can either replace the rails or flip them around. On the first two cases I made, they're glued in place, so I'm going to have to use the toothpick thing. It's kind of a pain, as you probably, I mean, I've done it before, it just sucks. Because then I really need to, once I get them super glued, I sand them flat, and then I need to I need to ping the punch so that the drill's not trying to slide one direction or another. Razor blade, smart. That's probably better even than sanding. Faster in it. Anyway, all right. So I'm really lazy about finding the center. I usually just draw an X. And maybe I'll use a thin pen for this. Can you even see that? You can see enough of it, I guess. And I'm right-handed. Cool. And you probably can't see much. Oh, you can. You might be able to see it through YouTube's compression algorithm. And that should be close enough to center for YouTube. Ping a hole with the punch. Oh, I'm saying the wrong order. I was saying ping the punch. I pinged the hole with the punch. I gotta learn all these manufacturing terms so I don't sound stupid. I'm just kidding. I don't care, but it's fun to say. Ping a punch. All right. And once I have that X, I'll grab a right angle thingy, a square. Wipe the sawdust off of it. Because the last thing I made was a case. You haven't really seen it yet. Maybe I will share a picture of it in a minute. Or I could go get it. No, I'll just share a picture of it. What am I doing? I'm not even going the direction I want to go. Go this way. Here we go. And this pen doesn't much care for writing on this blue plastic, but I don't care. It can deal with it. Alright. Good enough. So now I've got a center line. I kind of want to measure this. I feel like this is probably exactly in the center, like this cut, but we'll find out. This ruler actually looks accurate. So let's see, let's measure hole 4.3 centimeters wide, and to that inner line it is 2.2, so it's not quite center, but it's close enough. Like a millimeter is fine. So as long as that's a little bit over the line, I should be good. So, and I think there's only 3 mounting holes. Is that right? Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3. I could, if I pulled this bolt out and got another one, I could put another one in there, but I think it's just, oh, that's for the wrong thing. Where's the hardware? Yeah, there's just 3, huh? Well, pretty short, but they'll be, well, they'll work. They'll do the job. I'm not stoked about them because they're countersunk heads, but it's such a shallow countersink that it should be fine for my purposes. Alright, so like this, wait, which side's top? Yeah, that's good. I think that'll look good. It's not as pretty as Bartok's for sure, but it'll do the job. I'm gonna make another vertical line just so I can make sure it's fairly parallel. Don't love the measuring bits of this, but whatever. Measure once, cut 5 times. What was it, 2.2, right? Something like that. And I just want a line to, doesn't have to be super accurate, just to like make sure it's parallel, roughly. And then I think I am going to have to use this pen to draw the points because the holes are so small that my big old fat Sharpie won't fit. I don't have any fancy skinny Sharpies. Okay. And another fun thing about this is on this original faceplate, this was the first time I had done the door stopper, and I still have the door stopper, another door stopper over there, so I could potentially bolt a door stopper here next to this for when this isn't in use, but another dumb thing for another day. All right. Yeah, 2.2 centimeters was perfect. I don't know that that's making any mark. You know what? Should I try the pinging a hole at the punch? Too fat. Never mind. Too wide. Let me go check my drawing instrument drawer. Come on, give me a Sharpie. Oh, no, you're a chisel too. Oh, you'll work though, assuming it has any ink. Yes, thank you, previous owner of this house, for leaving me this Zig memory system, fine and chisel, or maybe it's the fine and chisel Zig memory system, I don't know. Anyway, it's cool, I like it. And I'm gonna have to note that these holes are, the top holes are a little bit, maybe a millimeter towards the bottom, maybe half a millimeter, something like that. So I just want to punch it just a little bit higher, and that's because the pen only allows me to get a certain distance. But I'm going to make big enough holes where it doesn't matter, hopefully. Alright, we've got some holes. I'll make some X's so I don't smear them. And alright. I think that one is pretty much ready to drill, which means that this project is paused for a minute because I want to drill this at the same time. Now, here's a question for you, whoever's Benjamin and whoever else is watching. Let's see, what do I do with the other one? Where? Oh, it's under this. Should I, for this stock box, that's really all that's going to be in there? Let me get it. Well, you know, the switch, right? It's just going to have, I think this is a 3-pole on-off switch, and that is common on these. And it will basically just disconnect and reconnect the cable, the microphone cable. That's what I'm going to do to mute it, right? I'm just going to use that to disconnect and reconnect it. Now it's 3 poles, so I may use one of the poles to turn on and off an LED, which means I might put like a AAA battery or something inside there, a very basic LED circuit. So it doesn't need a lot of room, and it also needs room for the two jacks, which go like that, and one from the other side. Or I could do them both on the same side, or whatever. Or should I use the bigger box? Like, which box should I use? The bigger box definitely looks cooler, and I can draw stuff on there and put multiple LEDs or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's a 1590 AA. And this is the big brother of it, which comes with a already screwed in machine screw for some reason. I'm guessing all the guts are in there. Yeah. The two black connectors. What are you talking about? Oh, these right here? These jacks? Yeah, these are all switched jacks. I can give you the exact part number if you want. Or part link, not number. Just give me 2 seconds. Go to cheap component search. Go here. Look for. Go up to the good stuff. Somewhere up here. There we go. I saw. Ribbon cable, ICs, sockets, potentiometer knobs, voltage regulator, hardware. Where's the jacks? Switch, diode, button. This is in no logical order. At least to me. Resistors, capacitors. Here we go, jacks. We want these ones. They look like this. I'll drop it in the chat. But yeah, they're 1/4 inch. Oh yeah, they're jack sockets. I always say it backwards. Those are the ones I tend to use. You can get them from Tata, Mouser, all sorts of places. And these are all switched. And the reason I always get switched is because they're not... you can use them for either... they're stereo switched, so I can use them for stereo purposes, I can use them for mono purposes, I can switch them if I want. And they're also the ones that Look Mom No Computer and those folks tend to use because they're really solid when they mount to a PCB. Yeah, always get more switched. Like when I first got some, before I started this stuff, I got some that were like mono, not switched, and it was just not good. Speaking of switched on Furby, yes, there is a switched jack on this Furby Theremin. I don't know if you can see this because I've switched away from the video. Let's see. So this is just this piece right here. This guy's a Furby Theremin. Just needs like a 3 to 5 volt power source. And there's a switched jack on the back. So that you don't have to listen with this very small speaker. Although sometimes the small speaker is preferable because the sounds it makes are interesting. All right. Or was that a switched on Bach joke? I don't know. Either way, I approve. Oh, okay, I keep getting sidetracked. So should I use the smaller case or the bigger case? I'm leaning towards the smaller because I have 2 of them and it's just a mute box. Like all it's doing is muting, but it means I'm going to have to like work harder. Like one of the nice things about Look Mom No Computer models or Metric 5U is things are further apart, so I don't have to like be as precise. Yeah, these will be fine. Just enough room. I can see it's designed so that it's just enough room for that to go like about that deep in there. It just means I'll have to be creative if I want to put a battery in there. Let's see, I'll need that there, that there-ish. This will take up a significant amount of space in there. And then I will only have a tiny bit of room for LEDs and stuff. The button is too big for the smaller case. It's about right. Like, yeah, it'll be just fine. It's a normal, probably pretty standard switching pedal switch thingy. It'll just look funky, I think. It'll look like an alien, and I don't know that I'll be able to easily fit a battery and LED in there is the problem. I think I'll run into, let's see if I do it just right. Let's actually do it all on top so that it's easier to see. Those are something like that. They can actually be a little bit about there. This is maybe like this. Yeah, I don't think there would be room for a battery. For 1/8 inch jacks, get Thonkicon. Oh, those are the, yeah, I see what you're saying. You're wearing socks. Switched on Bach joke. Which I have upstairs. It's a good album. A little weird. I love Bach. I love synthesizers. Switched on Bach is a little weird for me. Like, it feels too proper for the synthesizer sounds that are coming out of it, and it feels too rough for Bach. I don't know. If I knew how to play better, I would definitely attempt a harder core version of Switched on Bach. Bach core. And again, this is just a mute switch. I don't really need the LED. I could use like a watch battery or something. I've got various watch battery, or not watch battery, the 2032 batteries. I've got various mounts and things for those. So it's just an LED. Could be powered by that. That might be a good idea. Let me try that. Let's see where. We'll keep those. Pull out this box of stuff. Completely, but sort of unrelated, but sort of related. I was making Christmas ornaments out of shitty add-ons that light up with just 2032, or I could use power source. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, in here I think I have some power supply. Maybe they're upstairs. I'm not. What do I do with those things? Don't want that kind. I would like. I mean, these can work. They're big. These have switches. I thought I had some plastic ones somewhere. Huh. Well, that failed miserably. Oh, this switch will fit inside. Like, it'll fit inside here just fine. Because I'm going to drill a hole and this part will stick through, but it's more like the battery slash LED scenario, which again, I don't need, but it's kind of nice to know when it's on and when it's off, right? Like, I can look down and if the LED is on, the microphone is on, right? Like, that's sort of the premise there, but it just can't fit. I don't know if I can fit that in here either, so let's find out. Let's pretend these are in here. Sticking out the top. I like the top mounted jacks, I don't know. That's there. There's so much room in this one. But there's no need for controls or anything. Let's save the big one for a different project. I've talked myself out of it. And then I'm going to start with just making this work and without an LED. Let's do a very bare minimum first, and we can always do a V2 because I've got another box. This battery would fit though, like a little watch battery. Like, you don't need a lot of voltage for a single LED. That's like, you do it like this. This could fit in there, etc. It would be tight but doable. So we'll save that enhancement because it would only require drilling a single additional hole later on. Sorry, I need to talk this stuff out because I hadn't planned any of this really too much other than I knew I wanted to do it. We're going to use the silver Sharpie because it's cooler and you can see it on black. And I don't know. It doesn't have to be that exact, I guess. I think I'm going to have to measure stuff. Can't just trace them this time. Alright, So let's start with this hole. I guess you put this on the bottom, huh? The one with the screw holes. Although I kind of like the way they look, but let's do it pro. Yeah, okay. And you're gonna be in here somewhere. How far down can you fit? What am I doing? I've got calipers. Okay, so I don't want to be too close to those standoff holes. I don't know what you call them. Mounting. What do you call these things? The tubes that the screws go into. So that's point. So I'll just go a centimeter in. Okay. And ooh, this one doesn't have any. You know what? We can add some though. Making it fancy. Circuit boards inside enclosures. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I was actually thinking of doing the opposite, and instead of lining the inside, I was planning to line the stuff, but that makes more sense. After I drill the holes, I'll line it with some tape in the areas that are anywhere near the connection points, because stuff gets loose. I'll just use this. It's close enough. Man, this is definitely going to be good that it's on the floor and not visible, because it's not going to be perfect. It's sort of funky when you're trying to find the exact center line. I guess I could measure it. I'll probably do that. Yeah, let's measure it. So you are 1.5 inches wide, exactly. So 0.75 should be the center. Right there. And I think we're actually right on the money, or pretty close, so cool. This bad. Yeah, so where's my huge, enormous right angle? Good enough. Okay, and I wanted to measure 1 centimeter from the top. You are now the top. Cool. Congratulations on being the top. You did it. So 1 centimeter down is about here. So that'll be the top of where the switch is. And we'll just use the switch to measure the bottom. We'll give it a little distance so it doesn't short on the case. Alright, and then I can measure that, and you are 5/8. Weird measurement. About a metric. 1.7. Well, we're just going to do 5/16. Half of that. Right there. Drill there. Cool. We've got our hole there. Let's do the sides. Whoever came up with this masking tape idea for drawing on was brilliant, because it means I can be slightly precise. Should you convert your robot lab into a music lab? That is the coolest thing I've ever heard, so yes, do that. 100% support that. Actually, I want these to be on the other side, so I'm going to do them over here. The battery will go in the middle. Let's take you off. Pretty good. Okay. Okay, so one of my frustrations with guitar pedals is the location of the input and outputs. I don't like them on the side of the pedals. I would actually prefer the pedals be able to go like this, right next to each other, you know, instead of having that weird gap where you've got like the right angle shorty cord connected to the next one, etc. Like, I think that's lame. I want all the jacks coming out the top. Like, I feel like even the bigger box with jacks coming out of the top, if you have a pedal board full, is going to take up less space than if you've got these weird gaps, because your box is too small. Anyway, minor pet peeve, because I used to have a pretty sick pedal board, and then I got rid of it all. Now the only pedals I have are for synthesizers. Okay. I need to measure where I'm putting these. Okay, how far down? These can actually be right, they could even, no, this has to be down just a little bit, so they have to be at least, let's fold that down so we have a clearer idea of the edge. Looks like 2 to 3 millimeters down from the top. Okay. 2 to 3 millimeters down, and yeah, on the top, yeah. It is the current trend. That's rad. I can't do it on the top on this one because these are huge jacks, and you can see there's just not enough space in there, like because of the screw holes that take up space in there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but they can't both fit on the top. That was the first thing I looked at. But because I don't care about this module, and it's not going to be on a pedal board, and I could always migrate it to a larger case if I wanted to, I'm just going to go for the sides. And yeah, the Deep Space Pulsar, which is my favorite pedal right now, it's just a compressor. That one has all the jacks on the top, including, it's a weird set of jacks. It's got like an 1/8 inch CV input, 2 1/4 inch jacks, and a power socket all on the top. Modify the jacks. No, that's a different day. Let's do this fast. I just want to get this done because I don't really care too much about this other than it's a functional thing. It's just holding up the drilling of the other one, which I can't wait to hear running through some delay. You know, like Happy Birthday running through a triple splashback Cosmo module is going to be sick. Maybe some distortion, I don't know. Like Nightmare, like it would be like the intro to a Korn song probably if I run it through distortion, but whatever, it'll be sick. Grind the checks down. I don't have a bench grinder. I've got a death wheel from Harbor Freight, which is like extra deathy because it's the Harbor Freight one, and Dremel, which is actually pretty good. Dremel's great for that stuff. But we're not going to do it right today. We're going to do it mediocre. We're just going to, how far down? It's got to be 1 centimeter from the, wait, which side was what? It doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, so this is the top, or this is the bottom. These are going to be the top. Okay, cool. I'm going to put a little T up here. Top. that it matters. It's a pedal. Okay, let's draw a dot. Somewhere, measure, where'd my ruler go? 1 centimeter down is about there-ish. And from there, I can draw a second line. And from there, I can make it pretty by putting a dot somewhere. Where's my calipers? Why did I put my calipers away? These aren't, I don't know. Using all the wrong words today. 1 point, it's 1 inch and 1 1/16 inch. So I guess a ½ inch down, roughly. Let's see that should be in the center, and if that's sort of centered, that looks like plenty of room. Cool. Right angle. I hope this is the most measuring I ever do on a stream. And I'm not even going to have to breadboard this because I'm foregoing the LED for now. Though I'm stoked about my new breadboard tools. Means I will not need to build a whole module to test stuff out. Okay, so right in the middle of that would be, how big are you? I think you're the same both ways, but let's check. 1 and 8. Oops. What am I saying? 5/8. Okay. So it's 5/16. Why was that so hard for me to do? 5/16. What am I doing? Let's choose this. It's been so long since I've done any actual measuring or building beyond like rough measurements. Okay, so is it doing 5/16? About there. Okay, drill here. One more, and then we could get to drilling. When I say we, I'll probably do it off camera because I'm going to go outside so that all the metal doesn't end up in my feet when I walk barefoot through my garage like a dummy. In this one, how far down is that? Oh, that's pretty much perfect. So about 1 inch down. So the other side will go a little further than that. Let's see, pen. Let's go 1 inch and 1/8 down. It's not being the most small it can get because, again, the LED is not happening on this probably. Okay, and center line. I should have done that both sides at the same time. What was it? 5. Let's just do it. Yeah, up there. Yeah, sure. Wrong tool, but whatever. Good enough. And this is not going to be parallel to anything, but it'll be close enough. And I'm just going to eyeball the center right there. And I think lots of distance there, there. We're good to drill this thing. Go check. Yeah. Cool. So this is ready to drill. This is ready to drill. I think, again, I'm going to do that off camera. It might take me like 20 minutes, so I'll probably kill a stream What else should I do before I do that? I could do some more soldering real quick. Put these away for a minute. And get these back out. Okay. I don't think I talked much about these in a while, but these go onto Lego bricks, and you can stick these onto them. So I'm going to stick them on now that that loud heater has warmed up this room. Oh, I should have done that on camera slower, and then I wouldn't have torn it. Oh well. Cool. So, breadboard. I don't really want to cover the, well, we'll cover the scratch side, I guess. The funny thing is I have no Lego at all. Oh, thanks, Benjamin. You've been super helpful. Appreciate it. I'll be back on later. I'll probably stop for a bit and be back on to finish these up. Yeah, I have no Lego at all. Oh, what just fell off? Oh, a power socket. I think I just knocked off. Oh no, it came off of this somewhere maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. I've got photos of it. But let's take this off real slow. Cool. Anyway, I have no Lego, but I can still use these to bolt these breadboards onto things, which I kind of like the idea of. So that's why I got them. I'm also in the process of getting them purchased. Done. Squeeze them on there real good. And this one is a 12 to 9 volt converter, currently breadboarded. And I just left it in place for the next time I prototype a pedal and want to use a Eurorack power supply. But I also got these, whatchamacallits, these essentially plug into a breadboard. Like, let's get that empty one back over here. This will plug in, and then I'll have a Eurorack power supply ready for this, so I don't have to try to use these weird little pins in a breadboard, which doesn't work very well. I can use the proper pins, and then this one can take any power supply, I think, like a DC power supply, so that'll be pretty handy too. Might build this one really quick because it's pretty simple, but I'm not going to build this one yet. So I think the Eurorack one's going to get used far more, as I want to build some funky modules. Let's put you away. All right, let's do some soldering. My ruler up there. Okay, I need one of these. Cool, check. Capacitors, resistors, 10Rs. These are just ferrite beads, essentially 1K. I think I have all of that right here. 1K, perfect. How many 1Ks? Just 2. And this is essentially the thing that I build every single time I put together a module. Just a little power supply. Where's the... There we go. And I've been using the 10R resistors instead of ferrite beads because why not? They work, I guess. Just trying to find the one that's already open. I need 2 of them. Flowtron builds that music AI controlled synth lab thing. That sounds so cool. Alright, some 10Rs, where the ferrite bead normally goes. I actually do have some ferrite beads, but not very many, and I don't care to use them. These are easier to get. Because they're in that box that never leaves this desk, because they're resistors. Okay, 1K. This is definitely one of the smaller circuit boards I've built in a while, which is kind of funny because it's not that small as far as circuit board sizes go. Alright, solder it up. A little slower today because everything is really cold here. Check the solders. That one's pretty crap, but it's on the head again. Slightly better, not quite what I wanted, but it will do. Stabby box, cut these off. Going to be one of the few things I've made recently that I haven't even touched a bill of materials with. It does have a couple LEDs, those will be red. I think those are the last things on. No, I'll put those on next, maybe? Yeah, let's do that next. Perfect. All right, these I need to be 6, right? Each. Cool, 6, and cut one more section of 2 off. All right, 2 pairs of 6. You can go with a scrap pile, and we'll solder these on like this. And this is what's going to connect to the breadboard. Pin these down real quick. And I'll try to do my best not to burn myself and square them up real nice. Looks pretty square. This one's way off. No burning, please. Pretty square. All right. I don't know where Schmooster is today. I hope Schmooster is like frolicking outside or something. Alright, that should work. And just to test it out, it's going to sit in here just like that. Boom. Okay, let's put the rest of the pieces on. I think we're talking maybe this, LEDs. I think this is shorter than the LEDs. We'll see. Maybe LEDs in the socket. They're about the same size. Maybe I'll do it all at once. And then the capacitors last. And then it'll be done. I'm going to get some slightly different LEDs though. Very particular about LEDs. It's just so that the same brightness, and I'm not like wondering why one side's dimmer than the other or something. Negative that way. And actually, I really like that. Look, my computer labels these, but doesn't really need to. It's just nice. It's a nice touch. Thinking about the user experience of dummies like me putting in LEDs. Pin this down. It's just not very often where I see a stream without Schmooster's face in it, you know? Next thing, I'm going to square this up, try not to burn myself. Yeah, that one was dead on anyway. Cool. And this one's going to get plugged and unplugged more than most, I think, so I'm going to make sure that's really square. Alright, last bits of solder. Oh no, I have to do capacitors after this. Everything takes just a tiny bit longer to heat up right now because it's so cold. Not nearly as cold as it can get, but it's still cold. Forstein, how cold is it where you're at right now? I bet it's colder there. Look closer to the sky. No, you're closer to the North Pole. I'm closer to the sky, I think. Alright, then I need some tin UF electrolytics. Play some music. Yeah, you. How cold is it where you're at? Well, it's 10 50 volts. Let's go 100 volts. Why not? I don't think it makes a difference. Other than they'll explode less quickly. It's warm. Oh, yeah. You know what? This year's been so warm. We have no snow here. Like at all. Last year at this time we had probably a foot or two in the yard by now. And I'm pretty sure I put that first one in backwards. Well, no. Let me check. Yes. Wait, what? Okay. And we're good. That plus goes there, plus goes there. Put put the second one in backwards. This should be right. We'll find out when I plug it in if it explodes or not. Yeah, also we have a we have a layer of ash over everything in the backcountry, which means like on the snow there's going to be a weak layer for avalanche stuff. Almost soldered this one without squaring it up. What would I be if I wasn't mildly perfectionist about making sure the capacitors stick straight up and down, you know? Come on. Yeah, you're just not happy at all. Let's do that again. That should do it. Weird and globby, but okay. And we'll plug it in. I don't want a bunch of... Oh, backcountry skiing is so much fun. Well, I do backcountry snowboarding, specifically. But yeah, it's super scary. I have got my ARIA certification, level 1. I was planning to take backcountry first aid course this year, but that's not going to happen because it's just not worth risking getting COVID-19 while getting that certification. And also, yeah, anyway. Oh, they stopped giving locals a discount. Yeah, they did that here too. It sucks. Alright, but yeah, it's pretty fun. It just means that there's going to be a weak layer pretty close to the snow base, which is not good. Trying to clip Instagram. Have to re-record. Yeah, re-record, like that's cool. I'm actually pretty stoked because after this I get to pull all of the cables out and perhaps install the new case I just built. I was hoping to get more modules in today. For some reason, I have no reason to believe they would be here today, but guess not. All right, let's plug this in. Let me go get a power supply. And a cable. And hopefully I don't electrocute myself. Or sorry, electrify myself. Apparently that's the proper term. Electrocutes when you die. According to the discussion earlier. Okay, so we've got this lit up. And let's plug this in right. And this is the one I built a few weeks ago, not the one that's in my case. The one in my case has shrouded headers. Okay, so please don't explode. Nothing's warm. And let's see, what's the best way? I'm gonna go get some gators. Specifically, the ones that allow me to plug into a breadboard. Where are you? I've got some somewhere. Ah, there's one. And is that two? Yes, cool. Because I want to see the voltage. Do I need two gators? No, I've got one of each. Oh, good. Okay, so if I plug into this rail, well, let's do the ground's in the middle. Okay, okay, let's unplug this. Put it on the other side so that things line up proper. Try not to electrify myself. Okay, now the ground is always ground. Okay, let's get you, set you to, what do I want to do? Voltage, 20 volts. Connect you here. stab you into the positive side, which in this case is the negative side. And we will connect you, and I should see you in negative 12. 11.9, negative 11.9. Sick, cool. Good enough. All right, let's do that with the other side now. So this one's going to be a positive 12 volts. And we have a Euro rack to breadboard converter. Sick. Let's unplug this so I don't accidentally short something. Move it all out of the way. We're just cruising through projects today. Unplug. Leave you sort of handy because I'm going to use you later. Love how long that stays lit. Very unnerving. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Next thing. What else was I going to do? Piezo to jack. Yeah, let me get some jacks. I don't need switch jacks for these, but whatever. Okay, let's read the chat. Snowboarded briefly. Local discount got there. Small hill. Into the kicking horse. Okay. Oh, that sucks. They turned the hill into a small town. That sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, I can't say I much care for many resort owners. We have a local resort, like a really local one. Like there's a bigger hill 30 minutes from here that I usually go to. But we have a really small, sort of crappy hill, but still convenient. It's 5 minutes from here. And that one's been cycling through owners, and the recent owner is like kind of they're doing all sorts of stuff to screw over the locals because they just want to show that it turns a profit and then flip it as fast as possible. They got it when it was bankrupt last year, and it's a mess. Australians who visit now need to acquire a car to get, yeah. Okay, so here's the question. I've got these piezo microphones that I want to like tape onto stuff and jack into. Should I just solder them onto the jack, or should I try to make a cable housing or something? I think I'm just going to solder them on, because if I have two, that means I'll have one to test out the ukulele and one to test out the washing machine and or dryer. What do you think? Just straight on? Like, they're going to be taped onto whatever, so I don't think they need like a particularly beefy way to keep the cables from getting messed up. Yeah, let's just solder it. Yeah. Okay, so first things first, let's put a little solder on. Should take 2 minutes to do this one. Solder. Now on these jacks, the angled side is your ground, that's going to be the sleeve. And the tip is basically the opposite of that, it's this one over here. Basically 1, 2, and I've got the tip. No, something's not right here. This one's the tip. Good. So, like most things, black to the sleeve. And these are solid core cables on the piezo microphones, so I'm not even going to bother trying to tin it or anything. Don't know. Let's get that last one in there. Dose. Alright, we've got one. you tell this is like do the projects Hex 7's been thinking about for weeks day. Just get them all done. And this one wants to roll. We need something to keep it from rolling. Slightly heavier. Okay. Okay. 2. And could test it out. Oh man, so OBS recording. Can we talk about OBS recording real quick? Like I use the default format that OBS chooses in case it like ends a stream early, which means I need to convert it with VLC, which sometimes doesn't convert the whole thing. Like on a 4-hour recording, it converted the last 10 minutes until I started it over, and then it did it proper. But now I have a 4-hour recording, and I cannot edit it on my computer. Like I'll chop it up about the first bits, and then I can no longer see the audio and stuff, so I can't line things up after that. It drives me nuts. Alright, so we're actually going to test these out right now, because why not? We haven't tested anything out other than watching a light go on. So I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to plug this in, because it still works, it's just not attached to a faceplate. It's essentially a basic amplifier module. And then we're going to use one of these, or I guess both of these, brand new shorty cables. I'll plug it into one of these. Let go. And let's see, before I do that, I want to plug the other cable into the mixer, get some audio going through a speaker. Mixer, bring you into view a little bit. Line in is what I want. I want the out, which I believe is the bottom one. No labels is the problem with no panel. Okay, so that should not do anything because there's no speaker yet. Speaker is over there, fully charged. Let me get that. Oh, I actually don't even need this one. Let's put this back. I need to disable Bluetooth on my phone. Turn this on, connect this to wherever this wire goes. Oh yeah, we're hearing lots of stuff. That's just static now. So, let's turn this way down. Put this in. Now, hello. That is the least satisfying sound ever. Let's try, let me hook up that. Let's see what happens if I play this through it. You know? Will it be at all good? And you know what? Let's play Happy Birthday upside down and backwards. So we all know Happy Birthday. We don't know upside down and backwards Happy Birthday. Oh, I think it's picking it up already. Whoa, you're so loud. Let's turn you down a little bit. So you can hear like the sound of me spinning it. I think that is just because it's moving a little bit every time I spin it. And so hopefully that sound will be reduced, but it will work. So that one works. Let's try the other one real quick, and then I think I need to stop streaming while I do the drilling stuff. But you seem to work. Yeah, definitely works. Yeah, I can make more new songs. So the whole reason I got the paper one is, hold on, let me get them out of the box. Is because it comes with a punch and a bunch of these strips, and they're all major notes, but three octaves. So what I'll do is I'll make a few nice sounding riffs, and punch them out, and maybe even tape them to loop them. Because I don't want this to be a happy birthday only thing. All right, let's unplug some stuff. Turn you off. All right, so that was a successful test. I think the music box will work. Now all I need to do is bolt it. Let's unplug you. Unplug you so I don't die. Dying sucks. These are going to be great. I'm going to put one on my ukulele because I really think, yeah, I will post all pictures of all of this in DIY, except for the cable cut. But I think the ukulele is going to sound really nice going through the triple splashback, like really nice. And I'm also planning to configure the morphogene so that it's more of a delay module. Because I've tried a few different I want to keep trying the different configurations until I find something that I like that is performable. And right now it's not exactly what I want. So I'm going to try it as a delay module. So I think also the ukulele going through that or the music box going through it could sound really nice. And yeah, so I'm going to I think that's somehow everything I wanted to do other than the drilling. Like I don't think I have any more. I will have more soldering to do on the stomp box after I drill it though. So I need to drill. After drilling, I'll probably kickstart another stream. We can do some soldering. And that'll be the end of my streaming. I'll take some photos and stuff and post them, but that'll probably be the end of my streaming today. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna end the stream. I don't know what else to do. The problem with drilling is I don't have a good camera angle because I'm gonna be going in and outside and it's really cold, so I don't really want to do that on camera since I don't have to. Anyway, have a good one.